after review by Solicitor Molly Mudd, you have before you, and there is a request for you to approve the independent contractor agreement with Wayne Finkenbinder of Gettysburg to provide and deliver Pennsylvania DUI highway safety classes to identify participants as determined by probation services and as part of a probation sentence. In accordance with standards set forth by the DUI Association of Pennsylvania, the term of this particular agreement runs through the end of this year, December 31st, 2020, and the rate of compensation for Mr. Finkenbinder under the agreement will be $55 per hour. Are there any questions on this agreement?
Don, so we understand he's retiring, but we're going to retain him as an independent contractor. Is that correct?
That's correct, for the sole purpose of teaching these DUI highway safety classes.
Very good. Any other questions or comments, or do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That recommendation is approved.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
then the last item.
Okay.
I have one more item. This is a falls under the personnel report. Just asking the board commissioners to note the retirement of Deb Reacher, lead clerk at the Department of Probation Services, effective April 17, 2020. And I would just like to note that Deb started with us in 1988. This would be 31 and a half years of service to the court.
All right, so we don't need to act on that. You just want to note that, Don?
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll approve it with the personnel report later on.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all I have this morning.
All right, thanks, Don.
All right, take care.
Okay, moving on to Children and Youth Services.
Okay, this is Chief Clerk Paula Nyman. The main board on the recommendation from Fink to the administrator to approve 2 adoption assistant agreements. 1 with GF and EF on behalf of MD in the subsidy amount of $900 per month, and another adoption assistance agreement with WK and LK on behalf of VM in the subsidy amount of $900 per month. Your approval, please.
Thank you. Any questions or comment on those 2 items?
Nope.
Then I'll take a motion.
Motion approved. Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those two items are approved. All right, moving on to the planning department. We have them represented.
Good morning, Commissioners. Solicitor Molly Mudd, a recommendation on behalf of Rebecca Moreland, the grants coordinator of the planning department, request that the Board of Commissioners appoint Chairman File to approve on behalf of the board an application for Act 137 Emergency Housing Funds submitted by PICTI to help homeless tenant residents, eligible recipients of housing vouchers, while they seek permanent housing during the Governor's declaration of disaster emergency. Housing will be provided starting immediately and continuing through at least May 9, 2020. The project meets the criteria of funding established by Adams County Ordinance Number 7 of 1996, creating the county's Affordable Housing Trust Fund, wherein recipients of housing vouchers must earn 80% or less than the county median income, ensuring that beneficiaries will meet current income eligibility requirements of the county's Affordable Housing Trust Fund guidelines. This is an emergency grant, and I'm asking for your approval at this time.
Okay, well, thank you. And I wanted to recognize that Commissioner Qualley and Solicitor Mudd have been working very diligently on this, and we appreciate this on behalf of all our residents who need this service. Commissioner Qualley, do you have anything to add?
No, I think this is an important step for a handful of people that with the governor's order to not be congregating people, and with some of our local shelters not being able to house people. This is a practice that the Housing Authority has done before, but they didn't have the funds for the number of people they needed to help, so this is a great addition.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, at this time, I ask for a motion to approve this recommendation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, that recommendation is approved. Okay, moving on.
Commissioners.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you guys, Sherry, and thank your staff.
Will do.
Moving on to the commissioners' items. Solicitor Mudd.
Thank you, sir. Next, I have a recommendation that the Board of Commissioners approve and ratify ordinance number 1 of 2020, an ordinance of the County of Adams, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, amending and supplementing the Adams County tax collection policy. The Board of Commissioners desires to mitigate the economic impact of COVID-19 on county taxpayers. The Board has exercised its statutory discretion to extend tax payment deadlines for 2020 Adams County real estate per capita taxes as follows. To pay at a 2% discount until June 30, 2020. To pay at par July 1, 2020 through October 31st, 2020. And from November 1 and thereafter, a 10% penalty that will be added to the par amount. I will note that similar resolutions and ordinances are approved or passed municipalities. And for your adoption of ordinance number 1 of 2020 at this time.
All right, thank you, Molly. And I think on behalf of the board, we would all like to point out, Daryl, you did a great job on this, leading the charge and reaching out to all the 34 municipalities. And in fact, we have had CCAT reach out to us for some guidance on how we did this and how we got all 34 municipalities on board. So, Daryl, our hats off to you for doing a great job on making this happen. Any other comment?
I appreciate the, thank you.
No,
Okay.
it's heartening to hear that all the municipalities are following suit. Good job, Dale.
No problem. Thanks for the hats off.
Okay, and if there's no other comment, then I'll ask for a recommendation, to approve the recommendation.
Before we make a motion, it should be noted that this has nothing to do with school taxes. This is something to do with county and township.
Well, this one's the county tax. We'll have to wait for the municipalities to follow suit.
Okay, so noted. Yeah, it's important that the public have that clarity, because sometimes they sort of mesh all taxes together, especially if you came from Maryland.
Yes.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve adopt ordinance number 1?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, that ordinance is adopted. Okay, number 5, Ms. Mudd.
Thank you, sir. I have a recommendation that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 5, 2020, designating certain county employees as emergency responders as authorized by the Family First Coronavirus. This includes corrections officers at the Adams County Adult Complex, sheriff's deputies, 911 dispatchers, security department officers, and probation officers. The board commends the dedication and sacrifice of these employees who are designated and recognizes their commitment to maintaining the continued operation of the essential functions that they provide. Asking for approval and adoption of resolution number 5.
Thank you. I think the agenda is pretty self-explanatory, and again, we, on behalf of the board, we appreciate the commitment and dedication of these folks in keeping our critical services to our residents moving forward. Is there any other comment on that, or do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
And motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay. Resolution number 5 is adopted. Okay, I guess, Michelle, moving on to the personnel report.
Okay, on behalf of Michelle, I am going to present the personnel report. This is Chief Clerk Paula Nyman. For the courts, the probation services, we're noting the retirement of Deborah Reacher, lead clerk, effective April 17, 2020. Under the we're going to note the employment of Madeline Hubbard, part-time intern, effective May 26, 2020. Under the IT department, we're approving the amended date of hire for Chad Evans, unpaid internship, to June 1, 2020. Out at the Adams County Adult Correctional Complex, recommendation from Warden Heilman to approve the amended date of hire for Christopher Hamilton, Corrections Officer, to March 16, 2020. The employment of Brennan Moody, Corrections Officer, effective April 6, 2020. And under separation of employment with permission to post, we have the resignation or the retirement of Dwayne Finkenbinder, the treatment specialist at the Adams County Adult Correctional Complex. That will be effective April 24, 2020. We have Christine Hinken, Corrections Officer, effective March 31st, 2020. And Christina Fisher, Corrections Officer, effective April 6, 2020. Asking for your approval.
Okay, any question or comment on any of those items?
None.
Okay, hearing none, I will ask for a motion to approve those items.
Motion
Make a
approved.
motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the personnel report is approved. Now moving on to expenditures.
Okay, for the expenditures on behalf of the Finance Department for the period March 23, 2020 through April 3, 2020, we have total general fund, the amount of $1.2 million, has a special fund in the total amount of approximately $882,000 for your approval.
Okay, any questions or comment, or do I hear a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that expenditures are approved. All right, at this time we move into other business. Do we have any other business to discuss today?
The solicitor has no further business, sir.
Neither do I.
All right. Then anybody else on the call have any other things to say? All right. Hearing none, at this time, before going to the salary board, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn our regular meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you. So I guess we'll take a minute here and arrange our paperwork and get ready to go in the salary board. Paul, is the salary board agenda on the email?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I gotta find it.